Okay, good morning everybody. I'm Jim. You can see me at ifoundjim.com. That's my YouTube channel also, I Found Jim. And you have found me. And what I've got here is a beautiful 2003 Honda Element. Super condition. Just bought it. And I have a big pet peeve with cars that I buy is when the dash lights go out and don't work. So I'm going to show you guys how to get into the dash panel on this car, real simple, and change all of the bulbs on the panel. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start. First of all, we're going to take this off right here, because the dash lights in here are, some of them are good, some of them are bad, and I'm just going to go ahead and change them all. I've ordered the parts and light bulbs, and I got them from Honda Parts Now. I'll show you the information on where you get them. And here we go. The first thing you want to do is lower the steering wheel, okay? And then, see the side panel right here? You go down here, and basically you can just take a screwdriver and be very careful and gentle, but you can pop this panel off right here. And if you want, you can use a wrench as a pry bar. See how that pops off? That's as easy as it is. Easy as it is. Okay. And then we're going to get into a Phillips screwdriver here. And I'm a little confined here. But there is a screw right here. If you can see that. There's one screw on the side panel here. So we're going to take that out. And don't lose your stuff. So what I'm going to do is take all my screws and parts and put them down in here somewhere probably. Okay, so that's off. Now what you do is basically just pull gently so you don't break anything. That panel comes off real simple, just like that. Okay, and then, oh, by the way, I'm also using my Samsung Galaxy S3 to film all of this, which is super nice. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take off this screw, this screw, this screw, and that screw right there. Okay, so I'm going to pull those screws, and the reason you want to put the steering wheel down is to get it out of the way. These 4 screws will take the instrument cluster panel out. And like I say, I'm using a sticky mount chest harness, my invention, which allows you to have your cell phone film all of this without having to hold your cell phone in your hands. It's a chest harness, like I say. Okay, so those 4 screws are out. Now you can just take this guy here, and let me show you. I'll unclip my phone here from my chest harness, and I'm going to show you the clips back here. These 2 clips come off, and you basically just depress these pin buttons right there on both sides, and just pull those pins, pull the connectors out of the back of that. And they come out real easy. Just depress them, and then disengage those connectors. Okay, so that's that. There is the instrument cluster right there. It's literally that easy. And then what we're going to do is take all these are light bulbs in here, and they basically just spin counterclockwise like a quarter of a turn. Boom, boom, boom. There's 7 of them that are the same. 1, 2. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you have 2 lower lights right here. We're going to take those out and change them also. And it's just a simple deal. Okay, so there's my packing list. And like I say, this all came from HondaPartsNow.com. These are all genuine Honda parts, and you just have to go in there, type your date of your car in, the model, make, etc. And that's as simple as it is. Order and it's about half the price of a Honda dealership for all of these parts. And like you can see right here, they're genuine Honda parts. So these are my 7 light bulbs and my 2 lower bulbs, so you have 9 bulbs total. Okay, now what I've got is the instrument cluster there, and I've got all the light bulbs here. I've actually replaced one before, so that top left one is actually new. So now what we're going to do is these come out just simple. That's your bulb right there. It's as easy as it is. So I'm going to take all 7 of those bulbs out. And some work, some don't, but I figured while I'm in there, I'm just going to take them all out, replace them all. Then I'll have these other good ones that are still good as spares. That way you're not taking it apart and guessing if you've done it right or not. So these are the new spares. New bulb just goes back in. You can see you might need needle nose pliers to do this job. It's quite simple. Just make sure they're twisted all the way in. See how easy that is? Okay, so I'm going to do all of these guys right here. So that's quite simple. And then that'll be done. Like I say, it takes about 10 minutes. Okay, so all those bulbs are now changed. It was that simple. Couldn't have been much easier. Okay, we've changed all those bulbs. Now it's just as simple as going back to the car and putting the instrument cluster in. And if you really want, you can buy LED lights if you like. I don't like LED lights. I like factory, so everything's factory for me. Okay, now it's just basically go back inside the car, plug your panel back in, set this back in place. Take your screws and don't over tighten these screws here because they will strip the back plate. Make sure they're just snug. You can see why you have to tip the steering wheel down. Makes a big difference for ease of access. We got one more over here. Like I say, it's a simple 4 screws. So the instrument cluster's back in. It's daylight, but I can see that they're all working. Beautiful. Okay, now we just take the plate again, or the cover, and basically just put that back in place. And you can get replacement back clips for these guys if they're stripped. And then we take the one screw here. We screw the screw that one screw back in. Don't over tighten. And then this guy goes in same way it came out. There you are. It's as simple as that. Yep, everything looks good. Okay, next we're going to change all of these lights right here. There's 6 lights that operate in back of here. Actually, there's 7. I've already changed this one. This one was out, and this one was out. It didn't illuminate, so I've already changed those 2 prior. But I'm going to show you how you pull this panel off here and change all of these lights right here. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change. There's 2 lights in here, 2 lights in here, 2 lights in here. And that means the lights are working. Anyway, what you're going to want to do is, I think you can pull the steering wheel back up if you'd like. It doesn't really make much difference, but it gives you more room to work underneath. But what you want to do is you want to, and I may have to turn the ignition switch on in a minute to move the gear shift into the neutral position, but you basically want to get in there, and what I'm going to do is get in there with something that isn't, you know, sharp and bad. So you have to go in through here and try to work this cover off, and it's just attached with some clips. You can hear it coming apart now. Okay, so we're getting closer here, and I'm probably going to have to put the car into neutral. Okay, there we go. So that part's out of the way. Now what we're going to do is you have to go back. Let me show you here. You have to go in the back here and declip this one connector right there. And you're basically just reaching back. And there is another one on the bottom down there also. I'm just going to take that top one off though at this point. So let's just try that right now. So you reach into the back, and I may have to lay across the seats here to see what I'm doing, because there is one of those little pins, that connector pin, that you have to depress the button on. Okay, there she is. That's off. Okay, now we're also going to take one more off. Okay, we've got one more to go, this guy right there. There, that's it. Now we're going to take this into the shop and I'll show you how to change those light bulbs. And just for your information, well, I'll show you when I get into the shop here. But there is a light bulb that operates this light right here. And that's basically underneath here. Right underneath there, you can see a red wire. And this all just comes off real simply. You can just basically just pull these tabs like this. And that comes off. So you eventually can, you know, loosen everything right off by taking the 4 tabs off, and then this all pulls up But I don't need to change that because I've already done that. So we're going to go into the shop and change those bulbs over there. Okay, I brought the panel into my shop here. And like I say, I don't need to change this light bulb because I've already done that. But if you do need to change it, it's real simple. What the heck did I do? Oh, that light bulb for this right here is this guy right there. That little guy. If you can see that. And that just, you unscrew it and you buy a new bulb and that screws right back in. And that operates the hazard warning light that goes in back of this guy here. But what we're going to change is the 6 lights that are illuminating the air conditioning and heating dials and selector switches. So you have a bulb up in here, bulb here, bulb here, bulb here, bulb here, bulb here, and they're all different. You have to go on Honda Parts now and look them up, or go to the dealer and find them. But basically, I'm going to show you. The bulbs are right here. So you have 1, 2, 3, and those are all the same. Then you have the bottom ones. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's try doing that. Let me get my, I gotta get my stand. This is my makeshift video stand here. Even though I do have a sticky mount. Stickymount.com, it's a chest harness that allows you to film and video with any cell phone camera shooting from the chest. And it's actually this guy right here. This is a sticky mount. Also has a safety whistle. So go on stickymount.com and take a look at that if you'd like. Okay, so now we're going to change these bulbs right in here. And these are little tiny bulbs here. You might need jewelers. A jeweler, or like the small screwdrivers. Okay, now you can see. If you can see. You basically have to put your screwdriver in here. And I'm using these little small guys right here. And you can see it says locking in. And basically you go in here like this. You just turn it counterclockwise. You turn all these guys counterclockwise. And I've never had these ones out, so I'm not really sure how we're going to pop them out, but I think we're going to either use needle nose to get them out of there, or flip it over and see if they fall out, which I doubt. We're going to try it. By golly, they did. Okay, all 6 of those bulbs are out. And you can see what they look like. They're these little guys. And you can see that one's burned right there. So it's a good thing I'm changing it. And I'm changing all of them. Okay, now we're just going to change the bulbs and put the new bulbs in. And these are OEM bulbs, as you can see. And they came from HondaPartsNow.com. Be careful you don't break them. And those are the bottom bulbs. And these guys are, these are Japanese bulbs, by the way. These are the top bulbs. So to replace all of these bulbs with shipping was about 50 bucks. Just drop them back into the holes where they go, and then we'll spin them into position. Pretty cool, huh? And pretty simple. to make sure that they go in and seat properly. Once we get all of them in, I'll show you how to pop that panel back in place. Okay, my bulbs are in place. And then what I also did buy, you can see sometimes these clips right here, these metal clips, these are the retaining clips that keep the panel in place. And you can see one is missing right here, and I think it fell down into the car somewhere. That's what the clips look like. Well, you can buy them also, and I've got those right here. Yeah, these are the guys right here. That's the part number. So I'm going to replace, I only had to replace one, but I bought about 4 of them because they're only, I think, 20 cents a piece or something like that. They're cheap. So just so we had a couple extras, we're doing just fine. Okay, so basically just go back on. And that one actually might be a little messed up. No, I guess it's okay. They just go on, and you push them down in place. Just like that. They just attach by pushing the top in. You just push them down. They're simple to do. Okay, we're going to go plug it in and see if it works with all those new lights, and off we go. Okay, now we're back in the car, and this is just a matter of going back in and plugging our accessory cables back in. And like I say, I think, oh, let's see what I'm going to do here. This bottom one, they give you lots of room for, right here. This back in. I think I'm going to have to put this back into neutral. There we go. Okay, all 3 bottom lights work. Got my lights on. That's illuminated. That's illuminated. They're all illuminated. Now, it's daytime, so oh yeah, I can see them all working. Yep, they're all working, perfect. So now you just push the top panel in place, and basically go, and you're done. That's it. So literally in a half hour and less, just about a half hour, we have all the panel lights reworking again and brand new. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm Jim at ifoundjim.com, and that's how you change the bulbs on the Element panel cluster.